for stuff, but it does require constant active daily management. In particular for me, a lot of stress management and stuff. Like the last day job that I had was incredibly stressful and basically mentally destroyed me when my job no longer existed. So I spent 2 years kind of not functioning kind of thing is probably a good way to say it, where I kind of like, I was alive, but I wasn't really able to do anything. It's really hard to say what that is. But yeah, that's basically it. So I spent a few years recovering from that. And then after that, like, I lost my family in amongst that. Like, they're not dead. They're just dead to me. There's a difference. There's a big difference. But yeah, they're pieces of shit. And, I lost my friends and all sorts of stuff during all this. Also, we have an ad. Can I skip that? I can't skip the ad, I'm sorry. For anybody that's about to get an ad, you've got time to grab a drink and stuff. But yeah, look, it was a very, very trying time. Lost family, lost friends, lost job, income, all the things.
I am overburdened.
Safety, certainty, all the things, right? Just in the garbage. And yeah, I forgot to empty that. And I kind of had to adapt once I kind of eventually recovered. Funny enough, I got recommended. Here's the funniest part about this: I got recommended to a hospital to have a specialist to treat my Crohn's. Finally, 10 years later, and the fellow I took to, the doctor I took to, he actually was the one that suggested I should consider streaming, and that's actually why I'm streaming. If it wasn't for his suggestion, if it wasn't for having Crohn's, I wouldn't be a streamer. I don't think I genuinely would have just one day just up and started streaming without that specific conversation, which I find is really interesting because, like, oh, I've also got my inventory too full. Because, like, what the fuck's the odds?
Approach and let's trade.
Seriously, it's got to be incredible lifetime odds to like have that specific series of events pan out that very specifically. Let's say all the good shit's gone. I mean, all the good shit's gone. Sorry, that I know you said it a little while ago. I missed it. Sunglass Wolf, Flush Wagging Tail. So happily receiving pats. More pats. Still Ted Wagging Tail. No, if I can give you some ruffles. I'm sorry, I wasn't ignoring you. I was getting through conversation and stuff. There was a bigger room than I thought that would be. I thought that was the end battle, but it's not even finished in here yet. Let's get you that. What else is there? I'm questioning stuff like brown rice, rye bread, good bases. So, funny enough, I'm not a big fan of rice, but I don't mind brown rice. It's just that, like, rye bread is problematic for me for some fucking reason. I get a lot of reflux from it. I can't even really explain how that works, but like I can smell the bread and it gives me reflux. I get the same thing from some sourdough loaves if they're proofed for too long. Just the smell of the yeastiness like gives me reflux. It's a really weird thing because I'll be smelling the loaf of bread that's sitting out on the bench and I'll be like, that is sourdough bread is like really, really strong. It's giving me reflux just from the smell. Weird. What else was there? Hey, 41 minutes for a lot of distractions. Look, the main thing is you'll be able to play it probably by the time I'm like nearly at the end of the stream then. So you'll get like all of this and then you'll get to get in and play it yourself then. So there'll be no distractions. So it's probably good timing. Depends though, depending on what you've got going at the moment. Because if you're in Perth, it would be 11, right? It's about 11 for you, right? Is it? PM? I think. I feel yeah, makes sense. Draw up quick. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's actually another thing too, is, I don't know, I think the thing is, like, when I say, like, family, friends and stuff like that, like I lost those during those times and stuff like that. The thing is, I moved out and lived by myself since I was 18. So, like, I have been, like, independent in that capacity since I was 18. But there is a big difference to not having that support network in the background when you don't have, like, if something happens and you cannot, like, fall back on a family or a friend to, like, come and get you or help you out or something like that. It's quite scary sometimes, because it's like the few people that are in your life, what if something happens to them? You know, that's the thought. So yeah, this is also part of why the people that are in my life I treasure really deeply. And for anybody that missed it because of ads before, I said that if it wasn't for having Crohn's disease, I wouldn't have had the appointment with the specialist at the hospital that resulted in a conversation about streaming and, like, whether or not I consider streaming. So if it wasn't for having Crohn's, I wouldn't be a streamer. I would be trying to get myself a regular day job and trying to, you know, deal with all the corporate bullshit. Because I actually had, like, really higher management jobs before all of, like, my Crohn's and shit hit the fan. It's like, for a long time it wasn't active, so I didn't know I had it. And then one day when it did become active, I always refer to it as, like, you know, one day when Fire Nation attacked. It's like that, except it's obviously Crohn's and stuff. And yeah, no, one day the Fire Nation attacked and I suddenly had Crohn's. But yeah, I just kind of go, okay, well, whatever, I've got this now, so I don't know. Sorry, I'm gonna have a drink of water. I can't with that. My throat's just like, you don't get that one free. I'm like, I get that. I'll have some water. But yeah, I don't know. Medical shit. It's fun. It's not. The other thing too is the funniest part about not being able to eat a lot of meats. So I'll give Viking some pats because he's laying down stuffing with Bush. So having medical conditions and stuff where I can't eat meat, the biggest problem I've got is people don't believe that I can not eat meat. And so the worst situations that I have had so far is where somebody prepares food and either cross-contaminates, like double handles, like meat and whatever the safe food is for me, and then dishes that up and believes or thinks that either it's more so when it's on purpose, is what I'm trying to say. And sometimes it does happen by accident, like somebody goes, oh, I just use the same tongs to pick up this and that, and I'm like, I can't eat it because for some reason it's something to do with the oils from the meat. But when somebody does it on purpose, I have had numerous people purposely cook dishes that contain meat. And of course, I used to eat a lot of meat, so I fucking love the flavor. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. This tastes so good. What the fuck is this? And they're like, oh, yeah, it contains, like, I don't know, bacon or chicken or something. And I'm like, oh my god. And the first thing I have to think of is, okay, the next 24, 48 hours is going to result in me being in the bathroom, either on the toilet with the bucket and or in the shower, just on the floor. So that's going to be my next 24, 48 hours after this specific dish. Because they just either didn't think about it or purposely put it in there to try, or there's times where nobody says anything. Like I went out to dinner once and I got like Brussels sprouts, right? Which I'm not a huge Brussels sprouts person, but they did really good with this dish. It tasted really nice, and I know why later, because it had like chili and bacon in it, and I can't eat bacon. And so I was like numbing down. I hadn't had bacon for so many years. I didn't know what it was in the food. I'm like, what is this? But I never questioned it. I'm just like, oh yeah, it had to be vegetarian or whatever. Like it had to be the vegetarian dish because it's Brussels sprouts, right? It was my fault for not looking. but the person that ordered it knew and didn't mention and was aware that I was eating it and didn't mention it. And yeah, I just spent like the next like, I don't know, 24 hours just like throwing up non-stop, and like eventually when it gets to the other end, it basically shreds my intestines. Meat shreds my intestines and causes me to like kind of like pass a lot of blood. So it can be really dangerous because I'm also anemic. So it's really, really dangerous for me if I'm not in good health and stuff to be able to like lose that much fucking blood and stuff. So yeah, I'm sorry if this is too gross for some people, but it's facts. I'm saving you guys from a lot of the ick, but this is what happens to me. This is my life. And yeah, that's one of those cases where like I could have been, if somebody had just gone, hey, don't eat that, it's got bacon in it, I could have been saved from a really, really fucking awful night. Or if I had known, if I'd already eaten it and I had known, I could have made the decision that because I was already going to be in horrific, horrible pain, I could have eaten something else that contained meat and just absolutely, you know, gone out with a whole bang with that kind of thing. Not like go out with a bang, but you know, if I'm gonna go through it, I might as well go through it with something actually decent, not Brussels sprouts or fucking bacon, you know? Like, that's the way I look at it. I pick my battles, and at least once a year I try to ingest meat and see if it's still a problem. And sometimes it is. And sometimes it's not as bad as it was, and sometimes it's a lot worse than others. So it also just depends. Like, I usually try things when I am healthier. I'll normally like plan it over like a long weekend or something when I don't have to be present for anything. And I'll give it a try, and it's usually a fail, and I just go, okay, well, that's that off the list for the next year and stuff. So, yeah. It's definitely interesting. That's it. I missed a couple of messages. Ex used to have Crohn's. She said made her shit like a champion. I'll tell you what, okay. This is too much information for everybody involved, but there is nothing quite like sitting down on a toilet and basically like spray painting your bowl while you're projectile vomiting like half a meter across the room. Nothing like that exists. The severe cramping pain that forces you to double over from your intestines spasming is, I can't explain it, but I have seen Crohn's like help support boards and stuff, and the only things that people keep describing it as is it's like either having an organ burst, having something ripped out, disembowelment, childbirth. Those are just a few examples of what it feels like, apparently. So if anybody knows what any of those are like, hopefully not, that's what I go through. Like I said, my pain tolerance is pretty there. Like, I streamed with broken toes during the art stream and all sorts of stuff. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I currently have a really fucked up shoulder from like being at my computer for like 30 something hours in 2-3 days. No, it's gotta be more than that now. It's gotta be up near, no, it's gonna be high 30 hours in like 3 days. I don't know. Anyway, it's been a long time, but my shoulder hates me right now, so there's nothing I can do about that either. It's just, it's gonna hurt. I also have osteoarthritis in my joints from my weightlifting days, so I also can't do that anymore. There was another thing as well, was I got injured. I got injured at a workplace that stopped me from being able to do my weightlifting before all this shit happened too. So that was sad, because I loved my weightlifting. I just enjoyed doing weights.
Good to see you.
I didn't give a shit about what I was doing them for. It was just fun. Just a simple, easy, repetitive exercise that I could do any day of the week, you know? Let's put that one there. What else did I miss? Sorry, I'm a bit like, the conversation's flowing, so I'm not like keeping up on chat as much as I usually do. I'm usually a little bit better than this, sorry. Let's see. No, Waxel. Receiving more pats continues stung at wolf plush. Yeah, my friend wanted, what about the change that this game is making feel a bit better? What? Me and my friends... Oh, vented about the changes that this game is making. I feel a bit better. Nice. Good. Is that about the game you were playing earlier that was upsetting you? Oh shit, I gotta back up. Oh, I also haven't bought my helper for a bit, so I keep forgetting. It's a question, so don't feel obliged to answer, but it's come out undigested. I mean, to a degree. It's one of those things where it moves so fast through your body can't really do much about it, kind of thing. But the other thing too is like, there's a lot of complicated stuff involved with it. It's not just as simple as, oh, you have diarrhea or oh, you have like constipation or something like that. Like, I don't know, each different day decides to do something creative with my intestines, and I'm just like, can you not? Can I just have a normal day and stuff? Actually, I'll tell you what, the most interesting thing that tipped the doctors off about my condition was when one of the doctors asked me, so when was the last time you had a satisfying bowel movement? And I said, bowel movements are supposed to be satisfying? And he just like looked at me, and I'm like, no, seriously, like, are they legitimately supposed to, like, I don't understand. And he's like, we need to get you checked out. I'm like, yeah, I think so. I don't know where the guys summoning these are, but I think they keep coming back. But yeah, that was the main thing that like told them, not all like the fucking vomiting and the inflamed organs and all of that great stuff. No, it was the simplest, almost dumbest question ever was the answer to like solving the problem. It just fascinates me. And yeah, I don't know. I don't have a follow-up for that sentence. I'll just like move on. Was it biomed? What? Biomed, so this stuff is low-key interesting. Oh, you did biomed, sorry. Fucking... No, you just... officially you did biomed. That's what you've done now. Somebody is summoning these, but I don't know where he is. Oh, the door's open there. Maybe in this room? There's no Shadow Ninja waiting to happily. No. There is a Skull of Identity here, but this guy's... There we go. Hey, Barkin gives Wolf pets. Snuggles gives Wolf plush pets. No. I need to go back and buy my helper, I'm pretty sure. I'm like nearly finished this area, but I think it takes me to... No, this is... I'm nearly at the end of this area, so no, actually I'm not. Hold on. Let's go back. What's it? Waxtail happily receiving pats, and Snuggles smiles seeing Wolf plush get pats. Snuggles shouting. Snuggles fucking hell, English. Default setting, please come back to me. And Snuggles Shadow Ninja. Back. The eyes widen. That's alright, Viken. I know some of it was some traumatic conversation, but it's fine. I don't mind getting into this stuff every so often. If you guys have questions, you're welcome to ask. Like, feel free to. Like, don't feel like it's too invasive right now. If you want to ask something, ask something. Because, like, every so often I talk about this stuff. I haven't for a long time. It's just, it's topically conversational at the moment, so I've got no problem, like, about it, kind of thing. But yeah, generally speaking, like if somebody wants to ask me a question about Crohn's, I don't mind answering stuff because I found that when my Crohn's happened, I did not have any information. I didn't know anybody with it. I couldn't find really useful, concise information either. Like, I was looking around and I just couldn't come across stuff. So, like, if it happens to be useful for somebody, even as like secondhand knowledge through somebody, I'm okay with that. What's that pet's wolf? What's that, a wolf's plushie? Yeah, Viken's sweetie. Like, if anybody wants to like give him pats or plush pats or food and drink and stuff, he's always, oh fuck, that's a bottom. That's I'm gonna back up. Yeah, no, he's always sweet. Obviously, if you don't want to, you don't have to, and you know, it's alright. That's how old, what age range you're in. So I'm 36. I had my croons start when I was 24. So yeah, it was interesting. This is why I said when it started and I was 24, and the doctor who told me that I couldn't possibly have Crohn's because of my age, there's actually people that are like 16 to 30 is about the age group where most people find out they have it, or you know, generally have it activate kind of thing. So it's not really that out of the scope. It's just that this specific doctor that I saw that time, he only treated the elderly. So he was not really accustomed to coming across the condition in younger people, I believe. That's, like, I know it sounds, I'm making excuses for this man and stuff, but like, legitimately, that's the only thing I can think of, is that if you work with a certain age demographic for too long, the facts kind of are just not there, kind of thing. I don't know. I've had at least 2 doctors that have worked with elderly exclusively for a very long time, and for some reason I have seen them. Like, it would be like an emergency situation or a specialist, whatever. And in both those cases, I've been misdiagnosed. I had one doctor tell me that I was constipated when I had the flu. That was interesting. I have never seen my mother storm back into a building so fucking furious about a diagnosis ever. That was the entertaining day. I was so done that day. I was so sick, and I just couldn't give a fuck. Whatever the diagnosis was whatever the diagnosis was. And I'm like, if it's constipation, it's constipation. You know? My mom's just like, she said, what? And yeah, she's like, went back and she's very clearly got the flu. You know, I did actually have the flu. I was sick for a little while with that one. But yeah, that's probably one of my funniest fucking instances of like misdiagnosis, honestly. What else? Otherwise, I happily receiving more pats. Smile seeing wolf plush get pats. Says shadow into the side. No. I guess the poop health tells them a lot. Actually, that's another thing too, as well, is poop health is a thing with Crohn's. It's one of those things that they test for as well. So there's a whole range of tests. Probably the worst test I have to undergo is, and it's supposed to be every 10 years, but so far it's been every 2 years because I'm still under observation with the new hospital doctors and stuff, is that, oh, that was a 69. The biggest problem I've got is having to do the colonoscopy. Fuck that. Fuck that so bad. I do not like those. For anybody that's never had a colonoscopy, it is really good for determining the health of your body. Okay? Please don't avoid doing it if you are asked to do it, because it is really important, but fuck, it is one of the worst things to have to go through. You have to drink, like, for me, I have to drink 3 liters of prep, which is this like almost like battery acid tasting shit. It tastes absolutely awful. You have to drink it over so many hours, and then you have to basically like power wash your toilet bowl with your ass with that for the next half a day, which could also by that point in time be night. And then, yeah, let's see, you finish up with that. You're not allowed to eat. You can't really drink much water outside of what you're having to drink this prep nasty stuff. And then you have to wait so many hours before you can go in for the test while you're still shitting yourself silly every 15 minutes. And it burns, by the way. It burns like fucking Satan does. I'm not even religious, but I assume it's a sensation. I'm gonna shut up. Anyway, Like, it's just fucking unpleasant. And then after that, you then go in and you get, like, put under local anesthetic, whatever. Or at least in my case, you go sit in a hospital for 3 hours naked under a robe, which for me is fucking uncomfortable because I am not comfortable with my personal nudity in public. So even if I've got like a little robe to cover me, I feel very exposed and uncomfortable, so that's unpleasant for me. Also, you're still shitting yourself silly too, by the way. Heads up, wet wipes or baby wipes are your best friend during that time. I highly recommend. Find some good ones. Unscented preferably, so you don't fucking burn yourself because of the excessive use. But yeah, there's all that. And then after you get your tests done, they probe around for a bit. And you wake up and you're fucking ravenous, you're exhausted, you just want to have a shower and get some food in you. And I strongly recommend any kind of takeaway that you can get on your way home that you enjoy. That is always good. And then, yeah, it's like a couple of days of recovering after it, because it's not... Crohn's colonoscopies are not like a regular colonoscopy, because the kind of abuse that your intestines just went through has kind of left them like sore and inflamed and all sorts of stuff. So you end up having a few symptoms and stuff of like a flare-up for a few days. So just be mindful of that shit. What else? It nods head. Gives wolf treat and gives wolf hushy treat as well. Chat needs to get reset. I'm not surprised. It sounded like it was lagging earlier based on response times. Happily eating treats. Smiles. Gives feather to Shadow Ninja. Wagging happily. Pretty sure he's got 2 feathers now, actually. Oh, thank you for the feather. Playfully tickles wolf feather for a little bit. Yeah, if I can enjoy the tickles. I'm just catching up on messages. Just bear with me. It was around wagging fast happily. LP. Yep, that was definitely the word. Oh man, the prep stuff. Yep. Yeah, some people get put under general anesthetic. So I get put under general anesthetic. I'm one of those people that get put under. I am getting better with it. The first few times I had it done, I had a couple of scenarios. One was whoever was in control of the oxygen flow to the little air mask thing did not switch the oxygen on when they put the little mask thingy on my face. So I was held down with a mask that was slowly suffocating me. That was great. That was actually when I was going in for the life-saving surgery too. So I was like, I came out of that with a severe asthma attack because I also have asthma. So that was pretty horrific. So I spent a couple of days with like really sore lungs and throat and everything from that experience on top of the recovery from my surgery and stuff. So yeah, that was great. Had much luck. Oh man, I'm not even getting into some of the shit. Look, some of the stuff is off the topic. Like, I will never bring it up on stream ever, even if it's conversational. Because the shit that I have been through in my life, I have always said, and people always say this about my life, is like, you're a fucking drama series. Like, you're like TV drama, except you're real. Because it's true. Like, the shit that happens, you normally only see this kind of level of stuff happen in a drama. And when I've said, like, most of the things that happen to me, most people will only experience 1 or 2 of these things over an entire lifetime. And I have had them in under... I had most of these in under 27 years. Which is insane. The majority of like the really bad experiences prior to this stuff, the stuff that I won't ever talk about, is like in under 24 years. So like, yeah, honestly, it's been a journey. But yeah, that was the oxygen stuff. What else is that? I do need to go back. I got like a lot of space, but not a lot of space. So the oxygen stuff was shit, and then since then, because I let the anaesthetist know about the oxygen problems, I don't have too much issues since then with going on a anesthetic. Like, yeah, I tend to find since then a lot of them have been really good at like changing the values and stuff. I also have a lot more faith in like laying down and knowing that like they numb your throat for some stuff. Like there's endoscopy as well, which is where they send a tube down the top end, and I have a lot more faith in when they use the numbing spray in the throat that paralyzes your throat and I'm still awake and I can't